So over the past several months, you may have seen some changes here on the channel. Like I don't really drop F-bombs like I used to. I kind of try to stay away from any kind of curse words or vulgar language. And it's not for any particular reason. It's just I don't feel the need to have to express myself with very foul language. I feel like I can express myself now as a human being using different words other than F-bombs and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I went and saw Venom The Last Dance, and fuck that shit. It went right out the window. All I can say is, wow. Holy buckets of wiener shits, Curly. What a fucking dumpster fire of a movie this was. And the sad thing was, it's like I knew what I was going to get. Like it wasn't like shocking to me. Like I knew what I was walking into. And you might say, yo, Rob, why did you go see it then? Because I'm glutton for punishment. Okay, one, I felt like I needed to go see it because I already seen the previous two, so I'm already committed. So if anything, my OCD is like, hey Rob, you got to go see this piece of crap because you at least got to finish out the trilogy. What a piss way to like describe that trilogy. My ass. And then the second reason why, well, there was multiple reasons. One, I have OCD. I have to finish it up because I already started it. Two, I have a YouTube channel and we were talking about it on our stream on Sunday. And three, my wife likes it. And if you guys don't know, happy wife, happy life, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I went to go see it. Went and saw the matinee. And yeah, it just was not a good movie. Was so much of this movie was just complete nonsense. Like they bookend this movie with this character Null. I guess he's sort of new in the comic books. Back when I read comics, there was no Null character, but I guess he's a Thanos level threat, whatever the fuck that means. And he's basically the big bad, but you see him in the beginning, he's like, fine, Venom or whatever, bring me back. He has the codex, blah blah blah, and they like ship everybody out. And then meanwhile, like Eddie's pretty much on the run from these alien creatures that are trying to kill him to release Null, and that's the whole movie. That is literally the whole movie. You have these creatures. It's not even a big bad. It's just like alien creatures. Like he's just fighting cannon fodder through the whole movie. Like in the first movie, you had what was his name? The Gray Venom. I don't even remember his name, man. The Gray symbiote stew. Look, I'm trying to forget about that movie, okay? But you have the one bad symbiote in the first movie. The second movie you have wannabe Carnage. You know, it's not really Carnage. Carnage meets the Joker. He's like lovesick idiot, whatever. But at least you have a main bad. In this one, you don't really have a main bad. You have Null, who's somewhere stranded, imprisoned, and he needs to kill or get the codex from Venom and Eddie, and he sends these like alien creatures out, and that was really it. You fight these alien creatures that kind of like die and they keep coming back, but there was no big bad, right? Like there was no face. It was just minions. That was it. It was just a road trip hitchhiking movie of minions. That's what the movie was. And luckily, I was in the bathroom during the horse scene. I got back and I was like, what did I miss? My wife was like, oh, you missed the horse scene. I'm like, thank fucking God I missed the horse scene. That makes me happy. But the movie is just ridiculous. And let's not even talk about the blatant false advertisement by Sony. The fact that you put in the trailer the actor who plays Kurt Connors in the Amazing Spider-Man movies as the Lizard, Kurt Connors, you put him in the trailer and you make people believe that that's possibly Kurt Connors, and then when you go see the movie, he's just some kind of freaking hippie in a van with his family trying to find Area 51. What? That seems kind of whatever, you know, and they're setting up this whole plot now where Eddie wants to go to New York, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna go to New York, and we're gonna kind of see Eddie kind of evolved into hopefully the Eddie that we know Venom to be, but I never really got there. It was literally just a road trip movie, a buddy cop road trip movie with Venom, and it was just dumb. So much about it was dumb. Like Venom knew about Null, never said a word until now. Then he knows that they're being hunted, and yet if you transform into the Venom symbiote, you then reveal where your location is. And then he's like, yeah, well, fuck it. I want to dance with Mrs. Chan, so I'm going to risk the safety of us and the entire possibly galaxy in the world to dance with Mrs. Chan was looking pretty good in that dress, I ain't going to lie. What does the kid say? No cap? No cap. Mrs. Chan was looking pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But is that worth risking the life of billions upon trillions of people so you can have a dance Venom? Like, it doesn't make any damn sense. There was a part in this movie where Eddie's sitting in the van and everybody's singing, and he's like, what's going on here? And I was like, that's exactly my feeling. I'm sitting there going, what exactly is going on here? What exactly is... Riot was the name of the villain in the first movie. So if anybody left that in the comments, thank you. But yeah, it just popped in my head. Riot. So Riot was basically the Venom in the first movie, and then Carnage was in the second movie. But they're doing this whole thing where like anybody can get a symbiote suit. Anyway, like, you get a symbiote suit. You get a symbiote. Christmas tree lady with the dead ass look in her eyes. You get a symbiote suit. White lady who has absolutely no bearing on this story. I don't know what you're even doing here. You give us this backstory about Lightning, has no effect on the movie whatsoever. You get a symbiote suit. I'm sitting there thinking, like, what the hell is going on in this movie? Does anybody know what is going on in this movie? The two female actresses in this movie was absolutely horrendous. The one girl with the curly hair, she just had this dead ass glare through the whole movie, like, and then the white girl, she's like, this is my project. This is my project. And it's like we get a scene of her getting struck, her brother getting struck by lightning, and like it went up her arm or whatnot, but it had nothing. Had nothing. Like the Noel stuff had nothing. Had nothing. The Noel stuff didn't go anywhere. It's like, go find him. And at the end, it's like, I will get my revenge. And I'm like, what are we doing? This can't be a setup for a fourth movie. There is no fourth movie. Tom Hardy said, I'm done with this crappy franchise. Unless you're going to incorporate it in Spider-Man or Secret Wars or something. And I don't see why Kevin Feige would be like, hey, yeah, let's take your crappy franchise and mix it into with our successful franchise. I know our franchises kind of went downhill a little bit, but we're still better off than having Venom in our franchise. And it just doesn't make no sense. The movie starts with Eddie at the bar talking about Thanos and the stones, and he got teleported, and like the symbiote suit's being left everywhere. So I don't even think Venom is even dead. There's a moment in this movie where I'm like, okay, well, there's a little bit of sadness there when Venom's kind of like sacrificing himself, and I'm like, oh man, it's sort of like the boy and his dog sort of thing, and I get it, but man, then you realize like this movie sucked. Like I'm like. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think the second movie's better. I mean, Carnage was basically a pussy. Like they made him a lovesick fool. Like it was like a Harley Quinn Joker thing. It's like, oh, Shriek, I love you, which is totally not Carnage at all. And I kind of have to go back and rewatch that crap to even judge it. But this movie, nothing stood. I think the worst part about this movie is nothing stood out. Nothing stood out at all. Like it's just so. There's just nothing there. It's like you start off with this great antagonist with Noel, but who is he? What is he? What's the threat here? I just see some guy and you're like, yeah, he created a symbiote. Symbiote's turned on him, imprisoned him. Okay, let's go with the movie. I need a little more, right? I need a little more. Like I really thought they were gonna do something and he was gonna be unleashed, and I didn't expect him to be through the whole freaking movie, but at least give me like 10 minutes of him in the third act. Like release him. Let him come and start causing havoc. You didn't even do that. Like a lot of movies, their problems are when they get to the third act, you only see like 10 minutes of the main bad villain. Right? We have comic book movies like that before where like the main villain only, like Wonder Woman, right? Like the God of War Ares shows up for like 10 minutes and he's all CGI or whatnot. And there's been other cases of that in other superhero movies as you go through the catalog over the years. So I'm like, oh, well, Noel's going to be released and we're going to get like 10 minutes of him and they're going to defeat him and it's going to be sort of like a waste of time. But they even made that waste of time less than a waste of a time. Because now you didn't even unleash the motherfucker. The motherfucker never got released. He's been in the same thing the entire time. And I feel like I wasted so much of my life, man, with this shitty movie. You're not setting up anything if you're not continuing it. The only thing I can say is they set it up to where Eddie's at least in New York. If they roll him a big truck of money, maybe he would come back. But Tom Hardy said he's done. He doesn't want to do this anymore. And I don't blame him, because this whole entire franchise has been nothing but a turd in the wind. You know, like the first movie came out, it was god awful. Second movie came out, it was god awful. Like big shout outs to Chiwetel Ejiofor, because I thought, like, even though the movie sucked, he was awesome in the movie. Big shout out to Chiwetel Ejiofor, man. This dude, he'd be rocking it no matter what, man. This dude is class act in any movie. And the actor who plays the hand in House of Dragons, you know, what is his name? Otto Hightower in House of the Dragons, and he also plays Connors in Amazing Spider-Man. I thought he was good. Like, his jokes kind of got like the character got stale. It was like, yo, man, war not peace, bro. I believe in aliens, man. But at least when him and Chiwetel Ejiofor were on the screen, I was at least invested. Like, Tom Hardy didn't even feel like he was invested in this movie. Tom Hardy walked around this movie like, I got a fucking hangover, man. I got a hangover, bro. Like, man, I got a hangover on top of a hangover. Like, I don't know if they just wrote that in because he just didn't give a fuck, but he literally walked through the movie like, hey, buddy, I got a hangover, buddy. And I'm just like, man, no one cares about this movie. Nobody cares. Oh, man. But this movie, big piece of donkey shit. That's my thoughts on it. I would love to use clips, but unfortunately, YouTube just copyrights the crap out of anybody who used clips. So I just got this picture and this picture. But then, hey, the movie did make money, 175 million opening weekend. That's one thing about this movie. It does continue to make money. People are stupid. They want to go see it. And I think a lot of people like my wife enjoy the movie because they don't know who the character is. I think like 85-90% of the people that go see this movie have no idea what Venom is. I just tell you what, it's a sad day when Topher Grace was the definitive Venom, right? Years has passed now. How long has it been? It's been like 22 years, 21, 23 years, maybe even longer. But Topher Grace he was a great Venom, right? People might criticize that he was thin and skinny, and I kind of understand what Sam Raimi was doing. Like, he was the dark side of Peter. Peter is like this skinny little nerd, so they wanted to make the dark version of that, and they decided to go with Eddie being a skinny little nerd type character instead of the big bulky character. But if you take his appearance away, they got his character development right, they got his motives right, he acted like Venom, like he looked good. Other than him being a skinny little nerd, which they wanted to play on that mirror opposites of Peter, everything else about the Topher Grace Venom in Spider-Man 3 was done perfectly. You can't, you look at Tom Hardy's Venom, and I'm sorry, yeah, physically he looks like Venom, but that's where it stops. Nothing else about that is Venom. And I just want to go back and tell my younger self that, hey, don't hate Spider-Man 3 so bad. Don't hate it so much. Because in about 21, 22 years from now, you're going to get a Venom that's going to want to make you blow your brains out. And I just want to tell my younger self that, because it gets worse, people. It gets worse. I don't know how you can mess up a Venom movie. I don't understand Sony. They're doing a Spider-Man Noir series, but they take all these stupid villains and give them their own movies. Hey, Morbius movie. Madam Web movie. Madam Web ain't a villain, but you know what I mean. Madam Web movie. Craven movie. Venom movie. Spider-Man Noir series. What? If anybody should get a movie, it should be Nicolas Cage in the Spider-Man Noir. Where's Spider-Gwen? Where's Silk? Where's Spider-Woman? Like, what's going on? Ben Reilly, Spider-Man 2099, Miles Morales. You have all these different versions of Spider-Man you could do a movie of, and you continue to do a half-ass version of these villain movies without the main. Like, a lot of these villains need Spider-Man to be acceptable, right? Like, because they're so tied. Venom is so tied into Spider-Man. It just doesn't make sense to do Venom without Spider-Man, and it shows. Like, look how crappy it is. But anyway, guys, that's my thoughts. I wonder what you guys think. Please do me a favor, smash that like and subscribe button. And until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that is my opinion. Later, guys.